Whistling out of nowhere. So I posted this before, but it got removed for formatting. About 2 nights ago, I was with my girlfriend and her sister in their backyard, smoking a few joints in my car. We smoke very often, so a few joints is really nothing. Around 8 p.m., her sister went inside. We live in New York, the Bronx to be exact. So, the sun has been setting around 7 p.m. and it completely gets dark by 8 p.m. So, now it was just me and my girl chilling. I'm rolling up and we are talking. We're getting rowdy and then we start laughing at nothing out of the ordinary. We just started laughing. In her backyard, there's parking for about 4 cars, but they were all out. And on the one I was parked closest to her neighbor's fence on the right facing the road, my car was, so I can see all the way down the driveway, and directly behind me is this particular mesh fence that you can clearly see through. I thought for a moment that this fence is a church. Over on my right, in her neighbor's yard, is a garden that you can see in. I'm saying all this to let you know that I had a great view of her entire yard, from the front to the back, and the sides too, so I could have seen anyone or anything coming easily. Well, while we are talking out of nowhere, we both hear a whistle. About 2 seconds long, loud and clear. Immediately we freaked out, so much that she ended up from the passenger seat onto my lap, but I was able to keep my composure and calm her down and get her to go back in her seat. This part took about 3 minutes, and we were talking about it, trying to find a logical explanation for what the heck did just happen. While we were doing this, I'm basically calling anything paranormal not real and dismissing it as a cat or a squirrel or even my car. It happened again, directly in my girlfriend's ear, loud and clear. I even heard it coming from her ear area. It was as if it was ensuring us that it can hear whistling out of nowhere, and that thing whistling disagrees. My radio was off. The AC was on low, as it was a little chilly and windows closed tight, but it was as if the whistle was right next to her in the car. We stayed for another 20 minutes and we decided that she was too uncomfortable to stay there. She says weird things always happen inside the house. I never really took this seriously, and I let her know that I do not believe in stuff like that. This time though, I experienced it, and I look and try to think of everything to explain it, but I just can't, which brings me here. Does anyone here knows what this mean or could be? I am more scientific than religious, so I want an explanation, but this is a tough one. So, eventually I went back. I went back by her house and we parked in the same spot, and nothing ever happened again so far. My girlfriend, her sister and her brother did put me on to something that they have experienced growing up in their house, and I found it really interesting. Here's what they told me. When they were little, they used to play hide and seek, and my girlfriend, who is now 22 years old, would go and hide in her sister's closet. Sometimes, when she would go in there, she would see a pale little girl hiding with her, but she didn't get any bad vibes, so she never bothered with her. I questioned this, like I question everything, and she said that she was probably just too young to think much of it. When they were kids, my girlfriend's brother said that he had once seen a little girl running down their hallway, but thought that it was one of his sister's friend. But when he couldn't find her at the end of the hall, he asked his sister, my girlfriend, and they both confirmed that they didn't have anyone over. About a month ago, around 11 p.m., my girlfriend was sitting in her living room and she heard someone in the kitchen taking out stuff to make tea, but when she went to see who it was, the stuff was just left on the stove, as if someone left in a hurry. In the morning, she asked everyone, and guess what? Nobody was making tea. A few years ago, her mom's brother committed suicide. They didn't find out until a few months later because of some family issues. They all were very close to him, but his wife had some personal issues. I don't know honestly the full details. At one point, he used to live there with them, and when my girl's parents got divorced, he took care of them like he was their own. Before they bought the house, when she was 2 years old, a doctor lived there, and the doctor had a daughter that was fine. At one point, and after an accident, she became paralyzed. You can see this throughout the door. The door frames being bigger to accommodate a wheelchair and a ramp outside. That girl ended up dying in the house some years after her injury. When I tried to dismiss the first whistle with one of my many explanations, whatever it was, it just whistled louder and clearer, coming from right next to us. I'm talking about a few inches away. Man, I'm just here hoping for an explanation or an answer. I never believed in stuff like this before, and I assure you, I am the most skeptical person.